Okay, so I'm going to do a short video on how to use this Target Canine Ovulation Test Kit. This is a great product. If you want to find out when your dog needs to be bred, a progesterone test is really the key to getting the timing right. And you can also use this product to do what's called a reverse progesterone to decide at what point you should do a C-section. You can time your C-section very accurately this way and avoid having puppies delivered in the middle of the night or having to pay for emergency C-section fees. So this really will save you a ton of money. $118 for 12 test kits, comes from Hamilton Research. You can Google that. And don't order it on a Thursday or a Friday because you don't want this thing sitting in the back of a UPS truck over the weekend getting warm. So I would order it on a Monday. And I order it 3 days. It's fairly expensive. It's like $30 to ship it, but I order it 3 days. I don't like it to come longer than that. I'm worried about it getting hot. Anyway, so if you open this thing up, there's an instruction sheet. Tammy, can you grab me an instruction sheet from up there? I think above the stove, there's one. There's an instruction sheet, and it shows you how to go through this process. Let me see if there's one inside this. There isn't. Okay, I throw them away because I've used this stuff so much. I know it so well. So what you have is you have an instruction sheet, and here it is right here, and you can follow through this thing. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to use these various chemicals along with a blood sample you pulled from your dog and come up with a color, and this color represents whether the dog is not ready to breed or is ready to breed. The whiter, the closer to white, the closer we are to a high progesterone level. Okay, so how do you do the test? So the first thing you do is, I've got a video showing how to draw blood from your dog, and you'll need a couple of cc's of blood, and that blood has to be separated, the serum from the red blood cells. There's two ways you can do that. The way I do it is I have a centrifuge. So you may not have a centrifuge. If you don't, you can let the blood sit in a container for maybe an hour or two, and the serum will separate out on top of the red blood cells. Okay, this has actually been spun down a few minutes earlier, so I'm not going to let it spin for very long. But that basically is a centrifuge. If you're going to do much of this, it's well worth having a centrifuge. So let me go ahead and I'm going to get Tammy now to hold this for me, if you were Tammy. Thank you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the blood that I've spun down, and there it is, and then I'll put it right there. Here it is. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got the blood, and you can see, I like to use these little tubes because it's easy to see the separation. So what we've got is we've got the red blood cells at the bottom, and we've got the serum at the top, and what we want is the serum right here. And if you let this sit for a few hours, hour or two, that will actually separate out by itself. So I'm going to come over this way now, and I'm now going to take a little bit of this fluid off the top, and that's plenty, and there it is. Now, you want to make sure this whole kit has been out of the refrigerator. By the way, you need to store this kit in the refrigerator when you're not using it. It'll last for a year that way. When you take it out of the refrigerator, take all the bottles out, give them at least 10 minutes for everything to warm up to room temperature. So here we go. So now what we start by doing is we put 2 drops of this blood right in the center. I'll just do it carefully and slowly. 1, 2. Don't use whole blood. It'll mess the test up. We're done with this. We now throw this thing away. So I'll just pitch that away, and we don't need the blood anymore. Okay, now you've got to wait 2 minutes. Timing is not critical on this, but you can see there's the blood. You've got to wait 2 minutes before you do the next part. I've got filthy hands, I apologize about that. I've been working outside today. All right, 2 minutes for that to sit. We're going to fast forward through this, and basically while we're waiting on 2 minutes, let me show you these various chemicals. I like to put the chemicals out in the order I'm going to use them. It stops me from being confused. So the first one we use is called Target Wash, and we're going to put 2 drops of that, let it soak through for a few seconds, then put 2 more drops. Then we're going to put 1 drop of the enzyme bottle, just a single drop, and we want to time exactly 1 minute before we go to this one, Target Wash, and we're going to put 10 drops of Target Wash. When that's done, we're then going to mix up the A and the B and put it into this little bottle right here and put 2 drops of that mixed solution from this bottle into this, and we're done. So everything's going in here. So here we go. So Tammy, hold it again for me. My hand's in the way. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is warmed up. I'm going to put 2 drops, and right in the center, and here's 1, 2. Now I wait for a few seconds so it disappears and it all dries away. Just a few seconds, and we do it again. 2 more drops. 1, 2. So it's a total of 4 drops. Now, 1 drop, just a single drop. This is the critical part. This is the one you want to get right. A single drop of this and time 1 minute. Here's 1 careful drop right in the center. There it goes. I'm counting. I've now got a stopwatch going, and that stopwatch will now run for 60 seconds exactly before I flush it with this one here. While we're waiting for that time to happen, I'm going to mix these ingredients up. So there's a little black line in here, and you can see that I've sucked some fluid up.
Wait a minute, I can't. All right. There you go.
And you'll see I'm right on the black line with the fluid. And I put that in that bottle. And there it goes. Then I put that away. And I take this one here. Same thing again, it's empty.
It's the A and B.
It's the A and the B. And there's the black line. See the black line nicely there? You see the black line, all right? You've got fluid in the black line. I put that in there. That goes in there. All right. We're now done with those. We put the top on this. So these are the last 2 parts of the process. So my minute is almost up. And we're counting down. And 55, 56, 57, 10 drops of this, 59. Here they go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drops. So that's disappeared, the fluid disappeared. Now we put 2 drops of this mixture we did. Remember, this is the mixture that we made up from the A and the B, exactly. The A and the B with the black lines. We made up this right here, fresh every time. 2 drops, here they come. 1, 2. And now we time this for exactly 9 minutes to get results. And I'm not going to bore you with a 9-minute wait. But basically, what's going to happen, a dog that is not even remotely close to being bred is going to come up this really bright blue color, and you'll see it really quickly. By now, you'd see it in this test. Okay, but after, what you'll see typically is you can see a very faint blue maybe appearing here, but basically you can't count this test until 9 minutes is up, and then you look at this chart here. And so this is a dog that you're going to test again in about another 4 days. This is the results from a dog that you're going to test in about another 3 or 4 days. This is the result of a test. This is a test for a dog that is just about to ovulate. Ovulation is actually a level of 5, and you can see this color represents from 2.5 to 8. So somewhere in the middle of that is a dog that's ovulating. So when you can see the very faintest blue, that is about a 5, and you want to breed the next day. I mean, that's about an 8, and you want to breed the next day. The very faintest tinge of blue is an 8. You want to breed the next day. If you do the test after you've done your last breeding, it should be white. If it's not white, you've got to breed again, because white is greater than 8. And you should actually be breeding to what? So the numbers are going to be 5 is ovulation. The next day the number will be about an 8. The day after that it'll be about a 15, and that's what you want to actually do the AI on, because it'll have gone white by then. So there we go. Very simple test. This shows just there you can see just the very faintest of blue. And that is a dog that is ready to have its first breeding done. Or the next day, certainly. So that is about an 8. So actually, I would breed this dog the next day. So if you got this result, I'd be shipping to you for an AI tomorrow. So that's what you're looking for. And I think you can just see that very faint, just in the middle of it, very faint blue. Okay, there we go. Thank you, everybody.